All right. So we got to do this all over again because I got 2 minutes into it and the internet just clunked out on me, man. But I go ahead and at least get the disclaimer out there, man. If you ain't subscribed to this, go ahead and subscribe, man. Make sure you share this as well. Make sure you leave a comment section too, so we can get this conversation going. But yeah, as you can see from the thumbnail, I wanted to go over John Salley's comments that he made when he was asked about Kyrie on Shannon Sharpe's podcast Club Shay Shay. And I like John Salley a lot, man. He does a lot of DJ Vlad videos, and he asks him a lot of questions about players and things of that nature. And he give really good answers. He's not like one of those guys. Is like one of those old heads like Shaq or Bartlett that's very critical of these players and try to come down on them. I like John Salley when he was doing. I think he had a night a talk show at night, a midnight talk show at one point. Man, he was good on that. He's been in movie roles. He was in Bad Boys, the first Bad Boys. He's just an overall good dude to me, man. I like John Salley. And he was real honest. Even when he was asked about Michael Jordan, of course, he played with the Bad Boy Pistons. So of course they naturally didn't like Michael Jordan, and then he ended up toward the end of his career playing with Michael Jordan with the Bulls and getting a ring with him. And just Pistons, period. Whether it be Bill Laimbeer or Joe Dumars or Isaiah Thomas, they always have these sideways comments when it comes to Michael Jordan. None of them from the Pistons believe he the GOAT and all these things. And, they'll compliment him, but at the same time give him a sideways slight as well with their compliment. And, you just quite naturally expect that from Pistons. But John Salley is not even like that. Like, he give honest opinions, and he admit that it's hard to get rid of that rivalry that they had. It's hard to look past that mentally and give him his proper credit. But I really like that he was honest about it and said that, and then he was also able to go ahead and give a real good honest opinion. So I say all that to say he's an honest guy, and usually when you get him on your podcast and you ask him questions, it's gonna be a real answer. So I want to play what Shannon Sharpe was asking him. And I'm gonna stop it midway through the comment on some things. But Shannon Sharpe was asking him about Kanye and Kyrie, and he went into the Kyrie stuff a little bit at the beginning and the Kanye stuff toward the end. But I'm more interested in what he said about Kyrie and how John Salley responded to it. So I'll play that, and then we have a conversation about it.
You spoke glowingly about Kyrie. I know how you feel about Kyrie. We'll talk about him a little later. Kareem was very critical of some of the things that Kyrie said. He's been critical of LeBron lately. What is your position on Kareem or the old guard being critical of some of the young players? Warranted, out of bounds, fair foul?
It was 100% out of bounds.
The one on LeBron or the one on Kyrie?
Especially on Kyrie.
So he asked him, and of course Kareem came out and he had some things. He's always had some things to say about LeBron James, but he just recently said something about Kyrie Irving as it pertains to him posting the Hebrews and Negroes link on his Twitter, right? And he was very critical, and he said he even said the school system failed him pretty much. I mean, he just pretty much called him dumb, right? So that's the question he asked, but he asked about Kyrie and LeBron, and when he said he was 100% wrong, Shannon Sharpe got shocked and was like, about LeBron and Kyrie. He was like, especially Kyrie. That shocked Shannon Sharpe. So let's continue to hear John Salley's answer.
Okay.
And so we could speak on it. I think this was the reason. I think somebody along with him is saying to him, if you want to get things going and become relevant and be able to garner money where they bring you in and you got to say something that is asinine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, in order to be in this system of media, controversy and and conflict and a scandal is celebrity now. You understand what I'm saying? So to say that the school system has let Kyrie down is saying your Duke education is useless. But when you say that about education, you mean your programming didn't stick.
That was a bar. That was a bar. Like if this was a rap song, that would be one of the hottest bars. He said for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to say that Kyrie school system failed him, that is the same, or his education failed him. That is the same thing as saying that the programming didn't stick. And that's what he said. It didn't stick. And people, we all are programmed. We none of us are above being programmed. Like we get indoctrinated. That's the same thing as programming. Like I program my kids. I put in their mind what I want to be in their mind. So we all are programming someone or getting programmed, right? But when you're programmed by society, and society is organized a school system, and we have more than just a school system. We have a prison system, and within that prison system, you have to have a target for those prison systems. Like every system has a target. It's just that when it comes to school and education, everyone is a target. We're trying to indoctrinate everybody. The first thing we do when we have an immigrant come from another country is, in order for you to gain citizenship, we have these we have these standards that you must believe in and you're tested on, right? It's just certain things that you have to have indoctrinated in you and programmed in you. You're going to stand when we play that national anthem. You're going to stand and face that flag. You're going to put your hand on your heart or take your hat off, right? Slavery, this is exactly how it happened, right? These are the great men in our society. Christopher Columbus is a god, right? It's just those type of things. The earth is round. We landed on the moon first. All of those things you have to believe. And when you start questioning some of these things and doing your research in some of these things that they taught us in school, you start to unravel things and realize that it's not as true as they said it was. Darwin's theory on evolution is not as true as they said it was. It's not science. These things start unraveling. So what you start doing is you start breaking your programming. You're stripping your programming down. And every time society sees an individual, especially if he has a huge following and a lot of influence, because we understand what influence does. You can take a LeBron James, and just because he's very good at what he does, I can put his name on a shoe, and that can generate billions of dollars for my company a year. That's what influence does, right? But if you take that same individual and he start walking in a way that's contrary to what we program him to do, then we can't have that. Because if the way we have everything operating now, if someone goes outside of that and changes it, it changes society in America. And in turn, it's going to change society worldwide, because America is one of the leaders, right? So that's what John Salley was saying. He said Kyrie is breaking his programming. So I want you to keep your mind on that and think about how every time Kyrie shows that he's an individual and he don't think like everybody else, you see everyone around him and the media trying to push him back in the box that they want all the superstars to be in. And I don't think that's right, but let's keep listening to John Salley.
Right. Because Stephen A., my man 50 grand, went in on Kyrie and had COVID twice and barely could walk and thought he was on his deathbed with the vaccine,
right,
and the boosters.
Right.
Kyrie had none of that.
Right.
Another ball, right? So now hindsight being 2020, all that fuss they put on Kyrie Irving last season because he didn't want to put something in his body that they just created that wasn't even FDA approved at the time when it was asking every NBA player to do it. by law, since it wasn't FDA approved, you couldn't force nobody to. You couldn't tell someone they had to take that. They couldn't even tell us in the military, and we were the biggest guinea pigs on earth, other than prisoners, right? They couldn't even tell us to do it before FDA approved it, and it took like a year for FDA to approve it. So for them to ask the NBA players to all get vaccinated, that was just a hey, we would like y'all to, but if y'all don't want to, there ain't nothing we can do, right? And ain't nothing we can do except, I guess, not let you play, which was the options, right? But they really wanted them to play because they needed all hands on deck to try to make some of this money back that they lost on the quarantine, and they tried to gain some of it back with the bubble and all that stuff. But we need everybody to play so we can look as normal as possible, make this money, get this money from these networks, because while we're not playing, we're losing money. We can't get money. So anybody that was saying no to that became like public enemy number one. And if I was a team owner and I had a player of Kyrie's caliber saying, I'm not going to play, I'm not going to get vaccinated, and that started trickling down to other players, yeah, I would feel like, dang, man, I'm losing money because of this dude. So I understand why he was a target for them, but you have to at least understand that he was a target and why. And it didn't have anything to do with him being selfish. It had to do with it. Look, man, we trying to make money and you in the way, right? And I shouldn't have to put something in my body that I want to, just because you want to make money, right? So and I get it, but I guess they wanted him to be a team player, and when it comes to other things, cool, I'll be a team player, I sacrifice. But like some things, like if it's a drug that I don't even usually get vaxxed, like in Andrew Wiggins' case, he said he never had a vaccine coming up. His whole family, I think he grew up maybe Muslim, he's from Canada or something like that, but I think he's a Muslim faith or whatever his religion is. They don't get vaccinations, so his whole family wasn't vaxxed, and he did it against his will. He even said he did it against his will, and he even said that he regretted it even after they won the championship last year. But nonetheless, he made a good point. Here it is, Kyrie Irving is telling people, I'm not putting it in my body. I don't need to put it in my body. I'm healthy. And they're saying, well, what about the people that's not healthy? If you get this vax, you can stop the spread. How do you stop the spread from getting the vax? Well, if you get the vax, it's going to greater your chances of getting the vax or getting the virus. That's what they was telling everybody at first. If you get this, we can stop the spread, because if you get this, you're more than likely not going to get it. You're going to be protected against it. And then once they found out that wasn't true, because everybody that was getting the vax was also getting the daggone virus, they was like, well, it doesn't stop you from getting the virus, but it stops you from getting hospitalized if you do get the virus. Right. So they was moving the goalposts. But he made a good point. He said, here it is. Stephen A. Smith has gotten the COVID virus twice, and each time he felt like he was going to die. And here it is with Kyrie Irving, hasn't gotten it once. And he don't have the vax. Very interesting.
So,
but like the vaccine and booster doesn't guarantee, just like taking the mumps or the chicken pox or all those vaccines doesn't guarantee taking a flu shot.
I'm a vegan. I started studying veganism in 1991 and became a complete vegan in 2007. Like I lived this lifestyle. So I understood.
Yeah, but you had another 16 years of eating meat. You had done got it all out your system.
Right. So if you get things out of your system, which your system is only right here. So if you get things out of your lower intestines in 60 days, 30 days, shoot, in 11 months, you can have a totally clear system. So knowing that the stronger immune system and the stronger your system is, the better it is against viruses.
What about Kyrie retweeting Alex Jones, a known conspiracist, about Sandy Hook didn't happen? The parents are actors. People lost their kids.
I'm gonna answer that for him, because that's just dumb. So it almost like I got these questions for Kyrie loaded for two reasons. Number one, I know it's gonna get clicks if I put a Kyrie like right now, if you put a Kyrie post out and hashtag Kyrie, you get more clicks. Number two, he don't like Kyrie, right? And any chance he get to interview somebody to try to pile on him at this point, um, he probably would take that opportunity, right? So he brings this up and he fields the first question perfectly, with the example of Stephen A. Smith getting sick twice with COVID, Kyrie not getting sick not one time, plus the fact now that we know the real science behind it, because we had 2-3 years removed from them trying to force people to get this vax. They find out, man, we was wrong. It was unconstitutional for us to force people to get the vaccine or not work. So all the people in New York City that missed all the last year from not working because they didn't get vaccinated are getting back paid, and they're getting their jobs back, right? So I mean, there's so many things to go into that whole thing, but they're just going to act like it didn't happen. That was in the past. Instead of them coming out and saying we was 100% wrong, all this heat they gave Kyrie for the whole season. Just think about all the things they said about this dude. No one's going to come out and be like, man, Kyrie was right. They're not going to do that. But what they will do is, well, we still pissed off at you for this, being the media and being the Brooklyn Nets. So we're going to figure out a way to get you. And we got you with this tweet that you sent out, and that's what they piling on. But what he just asked him, well, what about the tweet he sent out about Alex Jones and Sandy Hooks? And they're so slick in the media with how they do that, because what happens is not everyone is going to fact check them. Not everyone is going to fact check them. I just listened to someone talk to him about this movie he tweeted out. I think it was Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick said he tweeted out a book and a movie with anti-Semitic tropes in it. And this is what he said. It's full of anti-Semitic tropes. Trust me. You don't have to watch it. Just trust me. I know. He said, trust me. I know what an anti-Semitic trope is. Trust me. So he's basically saying, because I said it was anti-Semitic and because other people said it was anti-Semitic, you as the viewer, you don't even have to go watch the movie. Just know that it's anti-Semitic. And guess what? Most everybody that's talking about this situation, Shannon Sharpe, Shaq, Charles Barkley, it don't matter who it is. All them dudes that's talking about it did not watch the movie. The movie is anti-Semitic because somebody told them it was. What the heck kind of bullcrap is that, man? You don't even deserve to even talk about it. How that's just like them talking about the game and they didn't watch the game. Like, would you really watch Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny just sit on TNT and talk about the games just based off looking at the stat sheet? Didn't watch the game at all. What sense would that make? And in this case, they don't even have a stat sheet to look at. They're just taking someone's word for it that it's anti-Semitic, and then they're coming out and saying, well, this is how we would respond to anti-Semitic or racist or whatever. This is how we respond to that. And we're just assuming that Kyrie is that, and we're assuming that the movie is that because somebody told us that. Well, anyway, he just said the same thing. Sleight of hand, nice trick the media does. He said he tweeted out Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is a known conspiracy theorist. And he tweeted out the Sandy Hook was fake. He said that's what he said. Kyrie Irving tweeted out. That's 100% lie. He did not tweet out anything about Sandy Hook. He tweeted out something Alex Jones posted years ago that had something to do with the New World Order and secret societies. And Kyrie Irving even explained that when the reporter asked him about that the first time he addressed the media. They asked him about Alex Jones and Sandy Hooks. He was like, look, I have nothing to do with Sandy Hooks. I don't agree with Alex Jones about Sandy Hooks. I don't agree that was fake. As a lot of families, I apologize to them that he even tweeted that. I mean, that he even said that it was fake. I do not agree with that at all. Right? That's exactly what Kyrie said. So we have him on record telling you, I did not tweet out Alex Jones, Sandy Hook opinion. I tweeted out something he said about secret societies years before this. But he keeps saying that he tweeted out Sandy Hook. Everybody keeps saying he tweeted out Sandy Hook. So basically what they're saying is either I really don't care what the truth is, or I don't know what the truth is. Or they're saying that if you show support for a person, or not even show support, if you share something from a person, then that means that everything that person have said, negative or positive, you also agree with. Because what in the case of both his tweets with Alex Jones, he tweeted out NWO. It was just a tweet. Secret Society's NWO, right? Now, Alex Jones just had gotten a lawsuit about the Sandy Hooks, and they told him to pay almost $1 billion to the families, right? So he got, tried and convicted of pretty much lying and slander and all that stuff, right? So they're saying that just because you agree with something he said about secret societies, you also agree with him about Sandy Hooks. And the same thing with this film. They're saying that, well, if you like something in this film and you tweet it out, that means that the worst part about this film you also agree with. And I don't think that's true. And I don't really think that's fair, man. Spav said he was vegan and caught COVID too. Yeah, I mean, I guess nothing is gonna 100% protect you from it, but it's very odd that you got or very ironic that you got this guy coming down on Kyrie so hard about the vax, telling him he's stupid and he don't trust the science and you're not that smart, and he's the one that's almost dying, catching COVID twice, and here you got Kyrie not catching it not even once, right? And he didn't get the vax at all. And thanks for the super chat, Spad. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to get on here and say, man. Like John Salley really just took Shannon Sharpe to school. I don't understand. I hate sitting here, getting on here and watching TV, and I see Shannon Sharpe. He's either doing one or two things. He's either going after players he don't like, mostly Kevin Durant or Kyrie. When it becomes a Kevin Durant or Kyrie topic, he can't wait. Or he couldn't wait to this morning because Kevin Durant lost to Luka and the Mavs last night and missed free throw. He couldn't wait, right? So Kevin Durant, KD, he's coming down bad on them, or he's doing some virtue signaling for LeBron James, and somehow he makes every topic about LeBron, right? He can find a LeBron ribbon in any cloud, right? We can be talking about football and LeBron can come up, like Kevin Durant. They lose a game and then he'll talk about the game, and then he talking about the Mavs and the Nets, and then all of a sudden he see now Kevin Durant see how it feels. Now he see how it feels when LeBron. Like I just don't understand that, man. And I don't know if people are not tired of it yet or not, man. But it's time for some new voices in the media. It's time for a new setup. But this debate stuff that they doing and this them being personal and having personal vendettas with players, this junk not working no more, bro. Like nobody likes that, and that's why YouTube channels are with just regular folk talking about the sports is becoming more consumable than these big media conglomerates, because it's organic, and it's just people talking and at least having some respect for these players, man. They deserve some respect too, so that's it, man. Appreciate y'all checking in, man. I catch y'all on the next one. Peace.